I just know one thing, 34 is right here. Back in them. I was so fat over the last couple of years that couldn't get in them. And I was so disappointed in myself for being a fat, do-nothing, lazy slut. Well, I don't know. I was still doing stuff, but definitely not feeling good. You know, I know this whole body positivity stuff it's really caught on, and you just, you know, fat acceptance. But for me, it's just too tough, man. I can't get over it, you know. I'm a modern man, you know. I've been subject to advertising my entire life. It's not the way I'm supposed to look, I suppose. You know, picked up a copy of Muscle and Fitness and I felt embarrassed. And I wanted to find something else that was like more what I looked like. You know, bald and overweight, weird patches of hair on my back, but that doesn't exist. You know, so this whole positivity movement doesn't really apply to me. Anyway, we're unboxing. Jesus, hold on a second. And we're talking. And I've probably already done too much talking, so we should get to the unboxing. This is spring, Santa Cruz. I didn't go balls deep. Oh, by the way, hope this finds everybody well. Didn't go balls deep on spring this time around. Just kind of put the tip in. You can probably guess before I even open what I got. And if you said street creep, you'd be wrong. Stayed away from the street creep this go around. Also stayed away from the Dressen. I think I've said this before. I don't really like the Dressen pup. I do like the shape. I have the Sun God with the raised ink, and I have the Nodus Kitten. Those are both on that shape. I like that shape, but I don't know. Dressen's graphics on Santa Cruz Dressen's reissue graphics on Santa Cruz aren't that rad, I think. Or they just don't appeal to me. I'm sure there's people who like them, you know, the pup or whatever, but it just doesn't appeal to me. The Dogtown Dressen graphics is really kind of, you know, where it's at for me for the most part. My mic is picking up. I feel like I had problems with my mic last time. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, dude, I see a sticker. A Reissue sticker. That's interesting, isn't it? Why is it interesting, you might ask? I don't know. Maybe I've got something going on with some Reissues, you know, down the road. But if that's the only sticker in here, I'm going to be bummed. One pair of bone saws. Oh, man. 2 pairs of bone saws. What could I be using those for? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But those definitely aren't reissue. Just a re-up in stock. All right, let's see what's first. Or let's just take them both out. Oh, there's another sticker. That's weird. Bone saw quality 4, huh? There's only 2 packages, 4 rails, maybe. Let's set those down for a second. See if I can get this sticker without sounding like a fatty and grunting. That's kind of a cool sticker. It's the screaming hand. This is actually a mandala. This never existed up until about 10 years ago when they went back in time and changed it. The screaming hand was something else, but I can't remember what it was. But as a kid, it was never, in the 80s, this didn't exist. This is something they implanted. It's like Mike Vallely is now Mike Vallely. I'm telling you, you know, these time travelers, they just run out of stuff to do at some point, and they won't do anything important, so they mess with little stuff. This was something else. Somebody probably is going to tell me at some point that they remember the screaming hand being something else other than the screaming hand. But we don't know. It's a good one, whatever it is. All right, let's get down to the reissues. First up, Roskopp. I was kind of interested to see this colorway. I do not know how it's going to look. But I think it's going to be pretty cool, considering what the other ones look like. This is the Target 3. Doesn't say what the color is. Would we call that like a fuchsia? It almost has an orange to it. Yeah, it's a nice soft color, very institutionalized and matte. It looks pretty good. Almost like very flat. There's a little paint drip down there, but hey, whatever. No, this thing looks really good. Yeah. They've pretty much got these dialed. There's no way that as many of these as that they put out over the last couple of cycles. If this thing doesn't come in like at 98%, they're really doing something wrong. But yeah, there it is. This will look nice alongside the other Target series that I have. There's the top. I think the only change really, you can kind of see the Target starting to break underneath the Santa Cruz on this one. But, yeah, pretty sick. I don't know, pinkish orange maybe? Looks pretty good. The overalls on this one, and this is a 1017 by 30.41, so it's a big boy. But that's the traditional shape. Another little flaw in the paint, but it's not horrible. That looks like a run from whenever they put it in the box. That's what that scrape looks like. But no, it looks good. I like this color. I think this is one of Santa Cruz's most popular shapes. I think that's why they continue to issue it, because I think they are able to move quite a few of these. It's a safe bet, you know. And if you're trying to actually collect series, 1 through 1,100, this is the way to go. As they reissue them, you can just kind of cop them, and then they look a whole lot cooler when they're hanging on your wall, I guess, maybe, because you have them all together. But yeah, this one looks rad. I like that color for sure. And the second one out, the Salba. I'm definitely going to get this one. I knew this one from the rip. I was going to get this one. Because, it's the king, the Lord, Salba. And I believe now I have a few of these. I've gotten the last 3 reissues of these. I was a little concerned with this green. I thought it was going to be more neon than it is, but it's actually super mellow. I saw some other pictures of it prior to it coming out. And dimensions on this one are 10.3 by 31.1. And this has a variable wheelbase. The Roskopp has a 15-inch wheelbase. This has a 14.5 and a 15. This one's Cruise Missile 2 as well. The Roskopp has what they consider to be their old school concave. One seems pretty good. Cruise Missile 2 is the yeah, man. This is a sick shape. I mean, the graphic too. Graphic is fire, but also the shape is sick. This is one of Santa Cruz's best shapes in my opinion. I like the tail. Got a little narrow waist. If they do some money bumps on this, it's like I'm just playing. But yeah, that green backdrop, or I'm sorry, that's what I'm looking at. The green dip looks really good against the tiger and the natives. It even looks pretty good with the witch doctor on there. Could use a little bit more color. That orange would play up a little bit better here than that yellow, but can't ask for much more than this, man. Yeah. Like I said, I am sitting on a couple of these. So I think I want to build one. I think this will be a Santa Cruz summer for sure. Because I've got the Kendall Wolf on deck. I've got the Knox on deck. I've got potentially one of these on deck, depending on what color I want to go with. I see this with like some stage 4s and those keyframe plain Janes, the ones that have Fonda on them with a loincloth and stuff. I mean, they're pretty soft. I think they're an 86A, but that would look sick for sure. Yeah, this thing's tight. Always is. No failing in this one. Not as good as the Witch Doctor. That Pagan Gold Witch Doctor is out of this world. This is good though. Yeah, I like the dulcet tone. Still, you know, this one is definitely like mid 2010s institutionalized. This looks like a mental health setting color. Walk in and gotta get, you know, you walk in and you have to work on your interpersonal communication skills with your significant other. That's the color that's on the wall. You know, when you pick up the little box, it has the beads in it when they're asking you questions about, you know, why you don't like her sister's baby, you know, and you just, how do you even answer that? You know, like any baby, much less my ex-girlfriend's sister's baby or my girlfriend at the time sister's baby. The little thing was just a screaming, yelling crap factory. No way I can explain that to anybody that'll truly understand it unless you've fully experienced that. You know, you hold it for a couple of seconds, you're like, look at this, wow, it's a kid, you know. But then when you're like, look, the thing is just smells. It smells like spoiled milk and shit. The more time I spend with it, the more I notice this. So give me a couple of minutes, pick it up. Hey, how you doing? That's it. That's all I want to do. Don't blame me for something like that later on, you know. But yeah, these are rad, man. Like I said, I didn't dip in fully. The Street Creep, I just got that silver and black one, and I'm pretty happy with it. And I have an older one that's red, and it has a blue font on it, and it has the like bone-colored skull on it. But I skated that. I think that one was probably like 2004, maybe. It's an older one, for sure. But the blue one just, I don't even know. It's like a bluish purple. It just didn't really, you know, jump out at me. And like I said, the pup is not really one. I just think of Dressen as a reissue Dogtown rider. You know, his new stuff is rad, like the Rose Cross and stuff like that. I like those, you know, but those pup reissues aren't really where it's at. Or that Everslick, the egg-shaped Everslick, and those other ones are cool. Like his early 90s ones are pretty rad. But yeah. So yeah, I stayed away from those two. Just went with these. And I knew obviously kind of what I was getting because I think I've unboxed a couple of Roskopps. I've even built one. Shout out to the homie Alan White. Rest his soul. So yeah, I kind of already kind of had a feeling of that these were going to be just a couple of easy picks, nothing to really sweat over. Same goes for the Salba. It's consistently good. Whenever they drop these, this is a definite pickup. And this one looks, the orange looks really good. The fade in the face of the tiger and everything looks really good. But yeah, I might build one of these. I think it would be rad to have one of these in the lineup. I don't really have one. I haven't had one in a few years. So that's a possibility. Yeah, it's been kind of a, I mean, we're starting to creep out of the January freeze. little by little. Been warming up, stoked on it, scoping out some upcoming events. Got a secret build that's waiting in that box right there. I think I kind of hinted at maybe what it could be. I got to get some trucks for it though, and then figure out what kind of wheels I want to put on it. It's kind of off my radar, especially as it goes to Santa Cruz and things like that. Yeah. What else? That's about really it, man. The mini logo video, as much as I've tried to make it, I can't, all I can say is that it's a good truck. And from the looks of things, man, I think that they're discontinuing the 875. It's not on their website anymore. I've tried to buy a couple of sets or whatever, but to no avail. Everybody who's got them and says they have them on their website and that they're in stock. Turns out they don't have them. Then I ask if, well, what's the deal? And they're like, well, we're going to get some soon. And I'm like, nah, I mean, how are you going to get some if it's discontinued on Mini Logo's website? You know what I'm saying? Unless maybe that's untrue. But yeah, it's a good truck. I mean, if you can get a pair, And the 838's close to, what is that, a 151? These are 159s, So if you can get that, man, grab it. It works. Definitely. For sure. All of the ones I have are great, They've got a good grind to them. They've got a really good turn to them, Keeping it in the PAL ecosystem is rad. Being able to build a board with all of those parts, So if I was to close out the experiment, I would say, yeah, that's it. I mean, where do they rank as far as, trucks that I've experienced in my life? They're not an Indy. Indy Stage 11 is the best truck out there, by far the most versatile. I'd put Indy Stage 4, now that it's readily available and everywhere, I'd put that in too. Definitely the Stage 4 is better than the Ace, You can feel that in the build. The build quality of the Stage 4 is superior, How many times am I going to say, At least a couple more, So, yeah, Stage 11 would be 1, Stage 4, 2. I'd put Ace in that third place if I was going to rank it. Just the Classic. Haven't really ridden the AF1, but the Classic is a great truck. Turns a little different than the Stage 4 for sure. The Stage 4 doesn't bottom out as much as the Ace. The Ace kind of like gets to a point where it's, off axis and it stays there. It makes sense though. If you're, grinding something and you're crooked on something and, having it hold in that space would be the best way to go. But yeah, 4, that's a tough one. Thunder, maybe. I don't know. Gullwing. I think Gullwing. I put Gullwing in that spot. Pro 3, great truck, great turn. Get with the groove, that Gullwing groove. They had a killer team back in the day. The lore of Gullwing, the Army. Nothing really can compare to that. Then you get into like Tracker. The Access is great, I had multiple pairs of Trackers when I was younger. The Tracker truck system was pretty rad. Used it, liked it. Liked to take the stuff apart and put it back on. Figuring out tools and things like that. I'm trying to stop myself from saying, So yeah, I'd say it's definitely Indy first. Stage 11, Stage 4. Ace. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Gullwing after that. Probably Tracker, then Mini Logo. Still a toss-up with Thunder. Don't have much experience with Thunder. Like to get more. There are other trucks that are kind of entering the chat, though. Slappy. What's going on with that inverted kingpin they got? Everybody says it's a good truck. I'd like to try it. Everybody says it has a great turn, too. So, all in all, I think the Mini Logo is good. Price point's great. Especially if you're just getting in. You're starting back up. You don't know how big of a commitment you have to this. Maybe your old lady's, wanting you to go to some kind of therapy, and you're like, well, this is going to eat into my skateboarding time. How much can I invest in something like this? So there's a possibility you're not going to be able to do as much. Yeah. But I'm stoked on the reissues. Not so stoked with NHS Direct as of late. I think I mentioned it in the last video. The notifications are way off. I didn't get an opportunity to get that signed rattlesnake. I've seen it on eBay for being held for ransom. You know, they threw out the Godzilla. That was something. I don't know where all these collaborations are coming from. I don't know what Godzilla has to do. And I was looking at Madrid too. The hell does the Texas Chainsaw Massacre have to do with skateboarding? Doesn't even make any sense at all to me. It's a good movie. The first 20 minutes of the movie are probably the best. When they show the cemetery, when the guy's digging up the bodies, and you know that weird horn sound, and the lights flash by them, and it's like, and their skull. That movie needed to just be about that dude. If you asked me, hey man, would you like to see a movie about a chainsaw wielding maniac or a guy who slashes a fat guy in a wheelchair with a razor blade after he went in and dug up a bunch of graves and posed the dead bodies with wire in odd ways in the middle of the night on a hot Texas night? I'm picking the latter, 100% picking the latter. Chainsaw aside, you know. But how that equates to Madrid skateboards, I don't know. I guess maybe you get the property or whatever. They're also dropping the Volterra. I saw that with their Madrid flywheels that seem like you're riding through swampy cement or something. They're so slow. It's almost an embarrassment. And they want like $275 for that. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me. Who's buying that board? Marty McFly? Did you ever see the movie Willard? Marty McFly's a guy who lives in an apartment building infested with rats, and he teaches the rats how to attack people. That's a way better movie. That's the board they should make. Rats gnawing at an old lady skull. That's a way better crossover. That makes more sense to me than Back to the Future. I did like the movie Back to the Future because, you know, Jim from Taxi was in it. That's the only reason I liked it. I remember, what was the dude? Lodka. Andy Kaufman. You know, I think the biggest joke in that show was probably the fact that Andy Kaufman was a mechanic and he always had a white jumpsuit on without a speck of grease on it. I don't even know if that was a running joke. He's working on cars. I can barely even get into my car without smearing something. You know, it's like, how is Lodka that good that he has no grease on his white jumpsuit? Think about that for a while. Let that be the rat that Marty McFly controlled to gnaw at your brain. Yeah. Santa Cruz fall reissues. Spring, I mean. Reissues. Roskopp 3. Salba Tiger. Pretty stoked. These are rad. But yeah. Hope this video finds everyone well. Hope everybody's starting to get out of the deep freeze. I heard there's some snow on the way to certain places. We're supposed to be more rain than anything, which I'm excited for. I've been getting out, walking around, doing things. It's been fun. There's a beaver down at the Monongahela River. I haven't actually physically seen him, but there are signs, of the beaver chewing on trees and knocking them over. So, and the Mon is a big river. I admire his aspirations to dam that river. And I hope that I see him because I'm going to pledge my service to him. And I will help him try to dam that river. If he'll form an alliance with me. You know, it's really tough. Beaver and man never really, you know, never been a thing. You've never seen a guy like pull up with a pet beaver somewhere. You know, you see plenty of people with pet raccoons, pet capybaras, pet possums. Possums are becoming really popular. You know, they're actually a great pet. They have such a short life cycle. You know, you can get attached, have a bunch of fun, take a bunch of pictures, they're dead. And then, you know, you really don't even have to have a service. You can just throw them in the woods somewhere and other animals will come and consume them. So the possum is like probably going to be the pet, I would say, of the second half of the 2020s. Just my opinion. But yeah, so that's been going on. That's been exciting, fun. Looking forward to definitely warmer weather. We may have a major snowstorm in like a week, week and a half. They said we might have like a 2-footer come in here and just hammer this place, which would absolutely suck. But that would kind of signify the end of what I think February would really be about. And then we'd be looking to the Ides of March. Good things. All right. Well, I hope you guys found this video informative and entertaining, and you're excited as I am about these two spring reissues. And if you got the Street Creep or the old Good Time and Dressen Pup, let me know how they turned out. Let me know if they're cool or not. You know, maybe I'll pick one up off the sale rack because I have a feeling they're both going to be there. You know, I don't think either one of those is moving big weight. What's coming in the future? I don't think there's anything like out of this world that's being reissued. The Trash Panda looks cool, the Winkowski. I think I want to get that when they put it up on NHS. Can't think of anything else. They already got the falls. Oh, the grab key, the summer, the clock time is up. That one looks really good. The Roskopp eye, that one looks good. And there's a few out there now that I'm thinking about it. A couple cool ones. So there's some future moves. But yeah, looking at March to build the first and the third season of Unlawful Assembly. Still assembling parts. That's probably why they sent this sticker, to tip me over. You know, all things are connected. Potentially some Richta wheels coming into my life and being put on a skateboard. Never skated any Richtas. If you've skated any of them, let me know how they perform. I do watch Tom Asta's channel quite a bit, and I believe he's on Richta. I don't think Richta wheels are going to help me skate like Tom Asta, but that might be why they're in my head. But anyway, yeah, thanks for checking it out. Hope everybody's doing really well. I hope you're surviving the East Coast winter and or the Midwest winter, or wherever it is winter at your doorstep. And looking forward to getting back to doing some skating. Looking forward to building a skateboard really soon too. So that's coming up, and I appreciate you checking out everything. And I'm sure I'll see you guys all very soon. All right. Peace. 34s.
The minute before the witching.